Hi, this is David Tang. I'm a product marketing manager at Microsoft Singapore, and my job is to make it easy for customers to buy and partners to sell a Windows Server system. Today I'm going to show you the Essential Business Server licensing tab. And we have listened to customers and partners tell us how difficult it was to install the licensing capabilities. Now, with this new feature, you can see how much we have simplified it.
Now, when we did our research, we found that our customers really had a pain point around licensing. And it wasn't just so much that that it was complex to administer, but also being able to report upon it, deploy it, and manage it. And even things like moving users around and when people left or went on maternity leave. How could we enable better license management across the environment? So I'm going to give you a demonstration of how licensing works. So here you see the Unified Administration Console of Essential Business Server. And you can see here the user, I have a user created that is not compliant. So I'm going to go about installing licensing packs. When we created the Essential Business Server, we really thought about how do we create licensing that's simple to do. And so we came up with this concept of having a single CAL for the Essential Business Server environment. And that CAL suite contains all of the CALs you require to run the services for Essential Business Server. Now, part of this was the ability to easily add new CALs to the environment. So I'm going to go ahead and run through this wizard. First of all, I have to accept the license agreement, so I'll go ahead and do that. And here it asks me to input the product keys. So I'm going to go and add this product key here, and by looking at the product key, we're able to discern how many number of CALs there are and what type of CALs they actually are. So here you see a 5 CAL pack, but I'm also going to add in a 50 CAL pack here as well. You'll notice here we also use user CALs and device CALs. So we're giving you flexibility to choose how do you license devices or users in your environment, as well as giving you the more simple way of doing it, which is having these unified CALs. So here I'm getting a summary page saying what type of CALs are going to be installed. I can double check the numbers here if the actual PIDs here if required, and I go about hitting install. So I've now gone and installed both of these CAL packs. So when I close this, you'll see now the license management is telling you exactly how many user CALs I have, how many are assigned, and how many are unassigned. And it gives me an all-out view of if I'm in compliance or not. Now, part of managing your users is being able to reassign those CALs or licenses as they move on or move about. So here I'm going to switch to the User Licenses tab and select Elizabeth here and manage her user CAL. So I can actually go through and unassign a CAL to Elizabeth by clicking here and selecting none. So it really simplifies the process of who should get the right CALs and how do I optimize the CALs inside my environment. A really big pain point for a mid-sized organization. I go about here and click OK. And I'm going to re-enable Elizabeth's CAL for a demo I'm going to do next. So that's one way of doing it, actually going through and managing the CALs from the licensing tab. But we also thought about how do you administer the environment day to day. We know that quite often what's going to be happening is you're going to be managing your users from the User and Groups tab. So here you see Elizabeth Anderson, and we're going to allow you to disable this user account. Now when you disable this user account, part of that disabling process actually says, do you want to release this CAL from this user account? So it allows you to reuse that CAL as required. So in this case, I'm going to release the CAL. Now that I've released that CAL, what I'm going to show now is how this impacts the licensing tab. You can see here that she's currently set to unlicensed. So all up, we've simplified licensing, but also integrated it into many of the day-to-day operations. And so this should make licensing less of an overhead and more ability of making sure that your business is in compliance and that licensing becomes less of a hassle. So, there you have it, some of the licensing management functionality of Essential Business Server 2008.